All right. Let's see. Thank you, auto patching. For some maybe possible future streams right there. All right, let's get this started. Let's see if we can finish Spellbook today. Book of Spells. They don't want me to calibrate this. Nope. Well, this morning I got my Chihuahua in here with my kitten. Well, she's not really my kitten. I'm just watching her. Uh-oh. Is that camera frozen? It might be. Oh, forgot to grab my mouse. Whoops. Don't chew on that. Well, maybe this cheap camera ended up dying from accidentally leaving it on all night. Probably shouldn't have left Streamlabs or OBS on last night. Let's see. Let's go ahead and deactivate that and try reactivating it. Oh, there we go. Haha. Oh, it still works. First. Now they're out of frame, out of sight. Using a tub of litter box, what I originally was trying to set up the PlayStation Eye with. Here we go, in case she decides to jump up there again. Right, let's get this started. Around chapters 4 and 5. Let's see what kind of,
Now, sit on the floor a little way back from your PlayStation Eye camera so you... Finally, place your Wonderbook on the floor in front of you. Make sure it's closed. I've just done a quick check, and I'd recommend going through the setup process again so we can reposition a few things.
London Studios, huh? Let's see, my Chihuahua. See my Chihuahua and a little raisin over here doesn't end up breaking down something. In here, or maybe it's just the camera.
Chapter 4 beckons. Are you ready? This is the first page of the chapter. Pull up the text to read about what this chapter holds.
Ooh, well, I see dragons, so hopefully something fun.
In this chapter, we will learn spells which, used wisely, will give you an edge over other wizards. Keep your wand work sharp, and you'll soon pick up new skills from stopping enemies in their tracks with a jinx to magically summoning objects. You'll have to be crafty as well as clever if you want to find the next conundrum and find out what makes good wizards into great ones.
Practice. Let's practice.
Oh, look at that, another collectible. You've come a long way. Now's your chance to prove all your magical skill. Turn the page to begin. The Summoning Charm. An indispensable spell for any witch or wizard. We can learn about the charm here, or turn the page to learn to cast it. Right then, let's get cracking with the Summoning Charm.
Charm where you can...
The Summoning
things
Charm
fly
is
through
one of the
air.
oldest and one of the most useful you will ever learn. The charm allows wizards to objects zooming towards them with the wave of a wand. Most magical objects are now sold carrying anti-theft devices that will prevent them being summoned by any but their owner. There you go. And we've got a story about the charm. Pull up the story, or you can turn the page to start learning the spell itself. Here we go. What tale about the Summoning Charm have we got in store? What do you feel like? Reading the story? Remember, you can always cancel the story anytime by holding
We've come this far. See another little silly pop-up.
The Summoning Charm might seem a very straightforward spell, but its dangers were proven by a band of extremist anti-muggle wizards.
I swear they're about to say Antifa
It seems the story needs a little help.
Antifa wizards. I mean, I guess that's what
Who
technically what
announced
the
in
Order of Phoenix is.
1743
They're technically
that they
like
had
Antifa.
declared war on Muggle ways and Muggle behavior. Calling themselves the Axionites, their stated aim was to live in a manner beyond the petty concerns of Muggles. Their leader was a wizard called Gideon Flatworthy, whom the Daily Prophet famously called less a wizard, more a stupid, lazy, walrus-like object who lies all day on a rather smelly cushion and expects people to admire him for it. Gideon Flatworthy decreed that the Axionites, as their name suggested, ought never to fetch, lift, or carry. For wizards are not like lowly muggles, beasts of burden, but nobler, finer, and higher beings. And that everything they required ought to be summoned by magic. Unfortunately, the Axionites ran into trouble almost immediately. I wonder what happens next. Refusing to do anything as mundane and energetic as visit Gringotts Bank, they swiftly ran out of money. Flatworthy did not believe in working and declared that the only dignified thing to do was to axio more gold.
Axio.
This he attempted to do by pointing his wand in the direction of a nearby goblin workshop. In one sense, his plan worked. Several exquisite pieces of goblin jewelry, as yet unfinished, so without anti-theft charms upon them,
Hey,
came
get down.
soaring in through the windows of the Axionites' headquarters. The idiotic Flatworthy was still trying to fathom how he might sell his stolen treasures without leaving his cushion
No, don't drink the coffee.
when a horde of angry somethings. What could they
Gnome
be?
gardeners.
No, that's not how it goes.
coffee somewhere where she can't get it, because that's the last thing she needs.
Indeed, a horde of angry goblin goldsmiths arrived at the doorstep, armed with swords and baying for the Axionites' blood.
I'd say to turn invisible.
Flatworthy and his companions disapparated at once and re-established themselves in a dark basement. Aware that they were still being hunted down by fearsome goblins and growing both hungry and thirsty, Flatworthy attempted to summon both food and drink to their basement lair.
I totally see them. Oh.
Naturally, the sight of cakes and wine flying along the streets towards the Axionites' hideout
Slaughtering the chicken.
immediately alerted their goblin pursuers to their whereabouts, and they were forced to... What do you think they did? No, that's not the right word. Yes, they disapparated again.
I wonder if they have like if goblins can count.
This time to a remote cave in Pembrokeshire.
Like need to show up and know where they are and...
By this time, most
like
of the Axionites were becoming disillusioned by Flatworthy's leadership.
Anti-disapparating magic.
And most of them decided that they would rather lower themselves to do some muggle-like things, like shopping, working and carrying groceries, rather than starve in a cave. Finally, Flatworthy found himself alone, light-headed with hunger, cold and miserable, but still refusing to admit that he was wrong. Experts still debate what precisely led to his final foolish act. Most agree that he had probably become delirious through lack of food. Although some think that he was determined to die as he had lived. All we know is that on the 18th of September, 1743, Flatworthy attempted to summon himself an entire farm complete with livestock, cozy cottage and well-stocked larder.
Okay.
Naturally, the buildings would not shift, but the furious farmer followed his flying cows to the cave on the hill and discovered Flatworthy, still lying on his cushions, but crushed to death beneath a pile of hay bales and cattle.
Well, there you go, furries who are into...
A clear case of careful what you summon. You're finished on this page. Let's learn how to cast the spell. Turn over.
What the hell was the moral of that? Don't be lazy.
Right, time to learn how to cast the summoning charm. You'd better move those books with your wand. Accio!
Accio!
To summon an object, picture the object clearly in your mind and say Accio. Now you try the incantation nice and clearly. 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Let's now take a look at the spell's gesture. You're ready to learn the spell shape. Pull up the picture on the page.
Just the semicircle.
To summon an object, make a bump from right to left with your wand.
Boom.
Well done. Now make the gesture once more, this time from memory. That's it. With this spell, you point your wand at the item you wish to summon, then press the T button. Good job. Now let's put this spell into practice. Time to hone those summoning skills. Pull up the practice picture to get started. It's time to build up your summoning skills. Remember, as you cast the spell, concentrate your mind on the object you want to summon.
Big black dildos came lies.
Oh, this classroom is in a state. Ah, right, we've got a chessboard, but no pieces. Looks like you'll need to summon the chess pieces dotted around the classroom. Ah, yes.
I guess I just...
You can't flick this spell. You have to aim your wand, then pull the T button.
Oh.
That's the spell, all right. Now just point and press the T button.
No.
Ah, the rook.
Take your time. It's like
Nice summoning. One down, two pieces still to find. Oh, the king.
take your time. It's totally real, guys. I totally have a chest.
Well
right
done.
here.
You're getting there. One piece left. Ah, the knight. Nice summoning. Good work.
It'd be so painful to get every single chess piece like that.
Ah, our esteemed author has left us further information on this spell. Pull it up if you'd like to know more, or you can just turn the page.
Once you've mastered this charm, you have the ability to summon any object of which you have need. Providing, of course, that you respect the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy. Since no object should be summoned if it is likely to whiz under the nose of a muggle. The summoning charm is ineffective on most living creatures, and those that can be summoned are rarely worth summoning, such as flobberworms.
Apparently chickens.
Interesting thing to collect? Time to find out how well you did.
I don't care. I don't need your approval, Mr. No
Right,
Name
let's move
Professor.
on and go back later if you like. It's
The serving spell?
With the severing charm, cutting or tearing objects is a simple matter of wand control. The spell can be quite precise in skilled
gonna be a
hands, and the
surgeon
severing
with my
charm is
wand.
widely used in a variety of wizarding trades. Useful as it is, this charm should be practiced with caution, as a careless swipe of the wand can easily cause injury. Wise words as ever. Ah, another story. Pull up the picture to read it, or just turn the page if you want to
Filler,
start
yay.
casting. Here we go. Ready to read a story about this spell?
Even though I'm not really reading. It's more like I'm being read to.
The severing charm was created in the 15th century by wizarding seamstress Delphina Crimp, who created it as an easy and convenient way of cutting cloth and thread. Prior to the invention of this neat, precise spell, wizards were apt to burn or shred anything they wished to
Really?
cut.
I mean,
However, while Madame Crimp's
scissors.
invention benefited her work,
Nice.
it nearly cost her her life. Witches and wizards
run
were
into the
subject
water
to
bowl.
persecution in the 15th century, so Madame Crimp, who had become one of the most fashionable dressmakers in London, preferred to pretend that she had no magical powers. Unfortunately, the great beauty of her dresses and cloaks aroused considerable envy among other tailors, many of whom were convinced that she knew some secret that they did not. even the ugliest. Oh my, what do you think is the answer here? That definitely wasn't right.
Oh, he's gonna go get laid.
Yes, the ugliest women seemed to look beautiful in her clothes, and Delphina grew richer and more successful every day.
And muggle money.
A rival muggle tailor by the name of Snickerton disguised himself and applied for a post in Madame Crimp's shop.
Why would she need an apprentice?
After several weeks, he could find no evidence of magic, except for the fact that there were no scissors in Madame Crimp's workroom. At last, by wrapping himself up in a bolt of velvet and keeping watch by night, he observed Madame Crimp cutting out an intricate pattern with the use of her... No, that's not how it goes. That's it, she was using her wand.
It's a slutty dress. How
The
lewd.
following day, Snickerton led a band of men to arrest the accused witch. Cornered at her shop, she was unable to explain why she owned no scissors. Snickerton insisted that her hands should be tightly bound to stop her cursing them all, and set about searching for the wand he swore he had seen her using. After several hours, however, he had found nothing suspicious, and his friends were starting to doubt him. At last, Madame Crimp asked whether she might at least be unbound to scratch her chin, on which there was a large wart. Unable to see the harm in this, her foolish accusers agreed. The moment Madame Crimp touched the wart, it sprang out of her face, revealing itself as her concealed wand. She promptly disapparated along with... What would she take with her, do you think? No, that's not how the story goes.
Wait, why would she need...
Yes, she took a large bag of gold and was never seen in London again.
Did they trade... Did they still use
However,
gold in,
from that moment onwards,
15th century?
Snickerton, the tailor, was unable to produce any item of clothing, no matter how securely he locked it up overnight, without finding it shredded to ribbons every morning. Legend has it that he died insane, convinced that he was being followed everywhere by a giant pair of invisible scissors.
Seems kind of awful. I mean, the people at that time didn't have...
The lesson here being, never come between a skilled witch and her livelihood.
Okay, but...
Right, turn the page and let's see about casting the severing charm.
There's a lot of issues with that story. So she punished some guy for being ignorant because it was, what, the 15th century, witches and evil and stuff. So let's punish this guy who knew no better. Why does she need her wand to disapparate with her stuff? That doesn't make any sense.
Time to learn how to cast the severing charm. A pile of leaves. What a mess. Just brush them away with your hands.
Help me, kitty. Oh, another gaping hole.
Diffindo. The incantation for the severing charm is Diffindo. Use it with care. Now you try the incantation. Nice and clearly. 3,
2, 1.
Defendo!
Go. Good. Now let's move on to mastering the spell gesture. Time to learn the wand gesture. Pull up the gesture diagram. The severing charm requires a jagged cutting motion with the wand. Go up, then slash down and right, then up again. It's like a letter N. What? No, you'll get it. No, I don't think so. Once again. Not the right shape. Try again. Good stuff. Can you trace the shape again from memory? A bit lost? Press the triangle button for a hint. Spot on. That's it. With this spell, you can flick your wand to cut things.
Slice. Like people.
Ooh, an Abyssinian shrivel fig. Perfect for potion ears.
Cut off some of those shoots, would you? Flick your wand to use Defendo.
And that was the last one. Excellent.
You're next.
Good work. Another student scribble. Go on, let's see what it says.
Ooh, an Abyssinian shrivel fig. Perfect for potion ears.
Cut off some of those shoots, would you? Flick your wand to use Defendo. Another student scribble. Go on, let's see what it says. The severing charm requires a jagged cutting motion with the wand. Go up, then slash down and right, then up again. It's like a letter N. Another student scribble. Go on, let's see what it says. Hello there. A gnome. Right. Let's find out what our mystery scribbler's given you. Flick your wand at the gnome. The disillusionment charm. Interesting stuff.
Just make him invisible.
You've disillusioned him. What if he wanders off while he's invisible? Heaven knows what he'll get up to. Ah, we can track him from his dirty feet.
Okay.
Ah, our gnome's returning to normal. Didn't like the thought of an invisible gnome hanging about the place. Finished here. Very well. Remember, you can pull up the scribble again if you like.
Alright, ready for part 2.
You're ready to start part 2. Point your wand to choose it. Chapter 4, part 2. The impediment jinx. This jinx is bound to come in handy. Point your wand, then pull the T button to pull up the glowing words and read the history of the spell. Or you can just turn the page. Swift use of this jinx can freeze an attacker for a few moments or stop a magical beast in its tracks. The jinx is a vital part of any duelist's arsenal. Being frozen with the jinx does no permanent harm, though if you're caught in an awkward position, it can become quite uncomfortable. Oh, look at that, another collectible.
No story.
Time to cast the impediment jinx. Incantation first. Looks like the incantation is a bit tied up. You don't need the severing charm, just use your wand to get this enchanted illustration moving.
Impedimenta.
Menta!
The incantation to freeze your enemies is Impedimenta. Got that? Now you speak the incantation for this spell. 3, 2, 1,
Impotent.
go. Excellent, well said.
Gonna cast this
That's the
jinx
incantation done. Gesture next.
of an erectile dysfunction. What a horrible, horrible jinx.
To freeze your enemies, perform a straight slash to the left.
Stocking my
Handy in the
chihuahua.
heat of battle. Straightforward enough, a swift line right to left. Try yourself. Good stuff. Can you trace the shape again from memory? Great. You can flick this dueling spell towards your foes. Another gnome. Quite the attention seeker. See if you can catch him with the jinx when he's in a funny pose. He's happy about something, that's for sure.
It's a good look at his butt right there.
Off he goes. Right, let's crack on.
Is that it? I didn't finish the lesson.
Another gnome. Quite the attention seeker. See if you can catch him with the jinx when he's in a funny pose. That spell won't help you here. Charming. He eats his vegetables, that's for sure. Splendid, but let's see you freeze him in a new pose.
Oh, there's his butt, everybody.
You froze him, but try to get him when he's posing.
He is posing.
Hear no evil, see no evil, eh?
Yep.
He's happy about something, that's for sure. Well done. I think you wore him out. He's off for a snooze, no doubt. Well, you made quick work of the impediment, Jinx. Turn the page and let's move on to the next spell. The Hardening Charm. Advanced stuff, this. Ready? Pull up the text to read about the spell. Or turn the page to learn how to cast it.
The hardening charm. So it's it's the opposite of my fucking my fucking erectile dysfunction curse. The hardening spell.
Pull up the text to read about this spell. The Hardening Charm will turn an
erection won't
object
go
into
away,
solid stone.
no matter how
This
many
can be
times I rub one
surprisingly
out.
handy in a tight spot.
Tight spot, huh?
Of course, most students only ever seem to use this spell to sabotage their fellow students' school bags. Or to turn a pumpkin pasty to stone just before someone bites into it. It is unwise to try this unworthy trick on any of your teachers. Miranda makes a good point. Oh, look at that, another collectible. Another note from our cheeky student scribbler. Someone didn't pay much attention in class. A pixie? It'll get up to all kinds of trouble if it's left to itself. Let's have a look at this spell. Flick the tickling charm of the pixie. Well done. There you go. Time to learn to cast the spell. Turn the
I don't
page.
know why this book is in the forbidden arts section. They
First,
seem
we'll
like
learn
very
the
common
incantation
spells.
for this spell. Pull the words up from the page. Duro!
So like duro, mas duro.
Cast the hardening charm with the incantation
mas
Duro. Now you try the incantation.
Duro.
Nice and clearly. 3, 2,
Duro.
1. Go.
Doodle! Doodle!
Time for the gesture. Pull up the gesture diagram to finish learning the spell.
D.
To cast Duro, first start at the bottom and go straight up, then curve round and down. Great! Once more, this time draw the shape from memory. Good! Once you've cast the charm, you then flick your wand towards anything you want to harden. Aha! Try your new hardening charm on those paper planes. Get as many as you can. Nicely done! Splendid shot! Oh, lovely! Another one down! Superb! Another one down! Nicely done! Splendid shot! Nicely done! Nearly! Nicely done! Another one down! Splendid shot! Down she goes! Superb! Keep trying! Oh, lovely! Another one down! Superb! Nicely done! Oh, lovely! Nicely done! Superb! Oh, lovely! Time's up! You seem to have mastered the basics. Turn the page to put your new hardening skills to the test. Right. Time to practice your new spell. Pull up the illustration on the page to begin. Ready to go? Pull up the Niffler. Here you'll be practicing your new hardening charm. You'll need to move fast. The charm doesn't last forever. We're back in the herbology greenhouses. Oh dear, that means there's Nifflers about. You should cast the hardening charm. Its gesture is like a capital D. There's one now. Now watch him carefully. The minute he starts to dig, harden the spot with your new spell. Look at that, not a care in his tiny brain. He just wants to make a mess. Oh heavens, there's a huge hole in the lawn. Two Nifflers. Watch them carefully now. They're digging. Stop them with your hardening charm. That stopped him.
Oops.
I knew they'd be back. Wand at the ready. Nicely done. Oh heavens, there's a huge hole in the lawn. That's it. I can't quite see the book. Put it flat on the floor for me.
Right there.
Oh heavens, there's a huge hole in the lawn.
I'll patch it up.
Oh, watch it. More unwelcome visitors. He's digging. Cast your hardening charm on that spot. Oh heavens, there's a huge hole in the lawn.
It's just being really finicky.
I knew they'd be back. Wand at the ready. Great. Good work. That stopped him. Great. Excellent. More Nifflers.
Damn, how much longer is this gonna go on?
Yes, well done. Oh heavens, there's a huge hole in the lawn. More Nifflers. Nicely done. The place is looking the worse for wear. Oh well, 5 house points. Missed! Once more. Let's see here. Fairly solid spell work.
Solid. Oh, yeah, right. The test.
Ah, there won't be anything here that you can't handle. Pull up that glowing picture to begin. Impressive! You've made your way through Chapter 4. Have you worked out which wizarding quality this chapter is hinting at? In this test, you'll be using each of your new spells to find and protect a priceless and dangerous magical item.
Philosopher's Stone.
Succeed, and you'll receive another conundrum to puzzle out. Stay sharp. Hope you like the great outdoors. I've always preferred the great indoors myself. Right, here we go. Branches blocking your path, eh? This'll be no match for your wand work. Cut this stuff out of your way.
I think that's the wrong one.
Those branches need to be cut down, not jinxed. Try again. Those branches need to be cut down, not jinxed. Try again. Great. That's one gone. Ooh. Oh, keep severing. I think there are still a few branches. Flick your wand again. Oh, we can see again. Good work. Well, now the book's covered in leaves. Let's see what's under there. Roll up your robe sleeves and get stuck in. Aha! A nest. It looks empty, though. A dragon! Oh, dear. That means this nest might be missing a dragon egg. Let's hope the mother doesn't think we've pinched it. Pixies! What are they up to? If you're a bit stuck, you can always press the triangle button for help. They're pulling the nest apart! Little hooligans. At least they've left a few pieces of the nest behind, that's something. Ah, our egg. It's fallen out of its nest and into that mud. We can't rescue it until we've rebuilt that nest. First, we'll need to stop the egg sinking. Use one of your spells to make that mud harder. Try the hardening charm to make the mud more solid. The gesture's like a letter D. That's it, the egg's lost.
Ow!
Here we go, let's try that again.
We trimmed their claws and they're still sharp. Yes, your claws are still sharp.
Ah, we're back at square one. Start gathering those nest pieces and keep an eye on the egg. Right, let's rebuild the nest. Gather up all those twigs and branches. Ah, there we go. You can cut plenty more twigs for the nest from these trees. I think you'll need to hit the branches more than once to get enough twigs together. Another new piece for the nest, good. All right, that's it. I don't think we need to cut any more. Ooh, watch it, the hardening charm's about to wear off. Good, that'll stop the egg sinking for now. Be ready to use the hardening charm again. Try using the summoning charm to gather up some of these twigs. You need to cast the summoning charm. Its gesture is like a bump from right to left. Well done. Very good. The start of a new home for the egg. That's right. Lovely. Keep going. Better harden that mud again. Try again. Press triangle if you want a hint. Right, quickly now. Well done. Lovely. Keep going. Oh, the nest isn't finished, so it can't protect the egg. Finish the nest first. That's it. Slowly but surely. Well done. Well done. That's right. Bravo! The nest is built. Our little egg has a new home. The new nest is finished. Time to retrieve our egg. Oh, the pixies are back. They're just messing about, but if that dragon returns and finds the egg gone, it won't be happy. The egg's sinking again. Use Duro, quick. Yes, one pixie down. Hurry, get the others. Excellent. Nicely done. You can't summon it while there are pixies still loose. Use a spell to stop them interfering. Good. Quickly now, summon the egg. Excellent. Nicely done. Good. That's another jinxed. Quickly, summon the egg while they can't interfere. That's it. Summon the egg, quick. Hurry, summon the egg. Good work. A job well done. Look at that. Home at last. And here's Mom. A Welsh green, if I'm not very much mistaken. Well, as you'll know from Care of Magical Creatures class, dragon eggs need extreme heat to hatch. Here we go. The little fellow's ready to face the world, thanks to your spell-casting efforts. Bless you. Let's make sure we don't bring this one back to the library.
Hey, don't you in the book?
You've done a great thing. You saved a baby dragon.
It wasn't real.
Well done. You passed the chapter test. Let's take a look at this chapter's conundrum. Another piece of Miranda's puzzle.
There was a young wizard called Morgan, whose boss said, "Go capture the Gorgon, the creature's so vile that it might take a while. Use your brain, it's a most useful organ." The Gorgon was fearsome and clever, two things that poor Morgan was never. By staring alone, she could turn men to stone, so they'd have to be statues forever. Morg's friends told him, think out a plan first. But of all things, he hated to think worst. Don't make such a fuss. I'll just take a truss and trap her before I can be cursed. He tried, sneaking up from behind her. But here is a little reminder. The mirror was made as a rear viewing aid. Thus the Gorgon watched Morgan come find her. They stared in the glass, Fiend and Morgan. 4 eyes met, of man and of Gorgon. With no time to moan, Morg was turned into stone, and he never came back. He was Forgan. What was the Gorgon which Morgan was not? What traits did she have, while he was a clot? What ought you to be, if you would survive? What qualities help you in staying alive?
Here's your certificate recording your progress. Pull it up from the book to have a look. You've made real progress with those spells. 10 house points.
10 house points for Hufflepuff. Yay!
Huh, moving on. We can finish that later. Are you ready to learn your final spells? You're nearly there. Are you ready for the final test? Chapter 5, Part 1.
This almost reminds me of like books on tape. Little kid books.
We've reached the final chapter. Are you ready?
Those kids' books with the tapes.
This final chapter covers powerful dueling spells. There are those who believe that magical dueling should not be taught to young witches and wizards. However, it is an unfortunate fact that the wizarding world is a dangerous place. The spells in this chapter will allow you to counter some of the dangers you might face, allowing you to destroy obstacles and disarm hostile wizards.
There we go. It's a better view.
And finally, you will learn a powerful protective charm, which will require all of the magical skill you have learned so far. You're close now to proving yourself an accomplished witch or wizard in your own right. Steady nerves will see you through. Well done, you're building quite a collection of souvenirs. You've come a long way. Now is your chance to prove all your magical skill. Turn the page to begin.
Collectibles.
The Disarming Charm. If you have to combat dark magic, then this spell is a vital part of your arsenal. The Disarming Charm will cause an opponent's wand, or in fact any item that they're holding, to fly out of their hand. Historians disagree about the origins of this charm. Some claim that it was invented by Merlin himself. Others, that it was in widespread use in Madagascar as early as the 11th century. Interesting stuff. Ah, another story. A famous duel with the Disarming Charm, perhaps. Pull it up to read, or turn the page to learn to cast the spell. Settle down and prepare to be entertained and educated in equal measure. Fancy reading a story about... In the opinion of the author of this book, the most likely originator of the Disarming Charm was a young witch called Elizabeth Smudgeling, who entered a dueling contest on Dartmoor in 1379. Contestants had come from all over Europe to compete in the contest, which was held at night, far away from curious muggles. According to contemporary accounts, the dueling was of a standard that few had ever seen before.
Flying broomsticks.
And finally, only 4 competitors remained, 3 wizards and the English witch Elizabeth Smudgeling. The judges of the competition, warlocks and sorcerers of several nations, made speeches to the final 4 contestants before the last 3 duels were to start.
Think big, they cried. Think bigger than you have ever thought before. Let us see this night magic on such a scale that future generations will envy us for having witnessed such greatness.
The first semi-finalist... if you turn the page, you'll cancel whatever you were doing on the previous page. We'll need to go back and complete that activity at some point, so don't forget. Ah, another story. A famous duel with the Disarming Charm, perhaps.
pull it up to read, or turn the page to learn to cast the spell. Settle down and prepare to be entertained and...
I wonder if I can skip some of this stuff.
In the opinion of the author of this book, the most likely originator of the disarming charm was a young witch called Elizabeth Smudgeling, who entered a dueling contest on Dartmoor in 1379. Contestants had come from all over Europe to compete in the contest, which was held at night, far away from curious muggles. According to contemporary accounts, the dueling was of a standard that few had ever seen before. And finally, only 4 competitors remained, 3 wizards and the English witch Elizabeth Smudgeling. The judges of the competition, warlocks and sorcerers of several nations, made speeches to the final 4 contestants before the last 3 duels were to start.
Think big, they cried. Think bigger than you have ever thought before. Let us see this night magic on such a scale that future generations will envy us for having witnessed such greatness.
The first semi-finalists then moved out in front of the crowd. Mindful of the advice to think big, the first wizard transformed himself on the spot into a bull. And charged the
I
second,
think anyone's ever
who it
been
seemed
knocked
would
up
be
while
killed.
they've been
But thinking
transformed
quickly,
by an
he
animal.
changed himself into a... What would you transform into if you were being charged by a bull?
Pumpkin?
No, that's not how it goes. Yes, thinking quickly, he changed himself into a viper.
Can he still be stomped to death?
Which bit the bull on the leg and sent it crashing to the ground in agony. The second wizard then took on the third. He caused a great storm cloud to descend from the sky, and his opponent was drenched in icy rain and forced to dodge lightning bolts, until he had the clever idea of summoning a powerful cyclone, which blew away the storm, but took with it the judges, most of the crowd, and many trees. It took a few hours for everyone to reassemble. Everyone was now a little afraid of what the third wizard might do for an encore. And the judges earnestly tried to dissuade Elizabeth Smudgeling from fighting him, and told her it might be easier if they simply awarded him the cup without anybody else getting hurt.
Kind of insulting.
Elizabeth, however, refused. On the count of 3, the wizard opened his mouth wide to utter a long and complex incantation that would, if he had finished it, have caused a mountain to erupt out of the earth and collapse on Elizabeth's head. The only problem was that she had already said a quiet Expelliarmus and removed at once the source of all his power. Elizabeth was awarded the title of Supreme Jeweler, and the disarming charm at once became one of the most important in any jeweler's armory. Oh, what a story! Ready to try the disarming charm for yourself?
Yay. Then I'm gonna kill Dumbledore.
Where's the spell incantation? Pull up the glowing picture to start learning it.
If I kill Dumbledore, that makes me head wizard, right? Of Hogwarts.
Goodness, you'd better put out that fire. Your water spell would make quick work of this.
Oh, so now I can cast it.
If you need help, remember you can just press the triangle button to get a hint.
I'm pretty sure this is what it's supposed to be.
If you're a bit stuck, you can always press the triangle button for help. You need to put out that fire. Your water-making spell might help here. Ah yes, that's right.
It put itself off.
Good as new. Fortunately, your book is protected by powerful enchantments for exactly this reason. Now, if you've quite finished fooling around... Expelliarmus! The incantation for the disarming charm is Expelliarmus. Speak it clearly and use it wisely. Got that? Try to speak the incantation for this spell. 3, 2, 1, go.
Expelliarmus!
Brilliant. You've certainly mastered the incantation, so let's move on to look at the spell's gesture.
Just seems to flip.
Time for the wand gesture you use to disarm an opponent. Pull it up from the page. The wand movement to disarm is a quick, straight wand move to the right. Ideal for reacting quickly in battle. Well done. Now make the gesture once more, this time from memory. That's it. Right. To disarm opponents, you flick your wand.
Expelliarmus!
Lovely. That's the way. When you've got the hang of it, you can just hold the circle button to move on. Aha! Another of our mysterious notes left by our even more mysterious student scribbler. You can pull it up with your wand, or turn the page if you want to move on. Interesting. We're back in the greenhouse. And here's a Niffler with... Is that a galleon? Quick! Use the disarming charm to make that Niffler drop the galleon before it reaches its lair. Wonderful spellcasting. You saved another galleon.
Yes, save the money.
Oh, ho! Oh, excellent! You gave the furry thief the fright of its life. Wonderful spellcasting. You saved another galleon. Another galleon rescued. Oh, ho! Oh, excellent! You gave the furry thief the fright of its life.
Considering that's not...
Wonderful spellcasting. You saved another galleon. Nicely done. Look at him go. Another furry thief. I bet he's after that galleon. Nicely done. Look at him go. Wonderful spellcasting. You saved another galleon. Wonderful spellcasting. You saved another galleon. Careful, another Niffler. He's after that galleon. Nicely done. Look at him go.
Brilliant disarming. You'll need another trip to Gringotts now.
You're getting the hang of disarming. Turn the page to face some real opponents. Now let's see if you can use the disarming charm in the heat of the moment. When you're ready, steel your nerves and pull up the glowing picture. When learning defensive magic, there is no substitute for practical experience. As before, you will practice this spell in a space created by your book, with opponents who will be doing their best to jinx and hex you. Focus on Expelliarmus for now. You won't be able to use your other dueling spells in this practice. Got all that? Right. Prepare to duel. If you're a bit stuck, you can always press the triangle button for help. Wand at the ready now. Prepare for combat. Stay focused, and you'll do me proud. I know it. Look out! There's one. Oh, they got you with a stunning spell. Watch out. Brilliant disarming. That's the way. Watch out. Beautifully disarmed. Lovely spell work. Brilliant disarming. They're taking aim. Think that was the last one. Watch out, they've got friends. Now's your chance. That's the way. Beautifully disarmed. There's one. Beautifully disarmed. Get him. Oh, they got you with a stunning spell. Excellent cast. Beautifully disarmed. Beautifully disarmed. Watch out. Think that was the last one.
Fierce kitten. Fierce kitten.
More of them.
Another wave.
Look out! Brilliant disarming. They're taking aim. Excellent cast. Watch out! Brilliant disarming. That's the way. They're taking aim. Beautifully disarmed. Excellent cast. Lovely spell work. Now's your chance. Beautifully disarmed. Oh, you're getting the hang of it. That's it. You're a master of the disarming charm. Well done. Well done indeed. Take 10 house points. Our esteemed author has left us further information on this spell. Pull it up if you'd like to know more. Or you can just... The disarming charm is central to formal wizard dueling, where disarming one's opponent is considered an honorable victory. Unfortunately, real duels are rarely honorable. Hostile or dark wizards will certainly use every unfair tactic against you.
Even death.
And this is to say nothing of your fellow students. Let's find out how you did. I'm giving you 10 house points for that. Oh, the Reductor Curse. It's dangerous, advanced, and not to be taken lightly. Still, with this powerful curse, skilled wizards can easily reduce obstacles to pieces. For obvious reasons, great care must be exercised when learning and practicing this spell, lest you find yourself sweeping up into tension. For it's all too easy to bring your classroom ceiling crashing down, or to reduce your teacher's desk to a fine mist.
I think I've played Order of the Phoenix.
In other words, no messing about with this curse. Or else. Don't forget, that will go into the collectibles chapter in your spellbook. It seems our magical vandal has left you another message. Aren't you curious what our mystery scribbler has to say? Just hold still where I can see you to find out what the spell does. I'm sure it's safe, or at least not permanent. Oh, that's no beauty spell. That's a stinging jinx.
Don't worry, the swelling will go down shortly.
I remember it's pretty much playing Call of Duty Harry Potter edition, because every spell essentially was just a gun changing.
There we are. You can barely see the swelling. I hope you've learned
like
your
a
lesson
crystal,
about
and the
using
duckbill
strange
would be like
spells.
a machine gun, and then
Anyway,
you'd have a
now that
sniper
unflattering
spell,
moment is
and
behind
then,
us. Turn the page and let's use the Reductor Curse.
a submachine gun.
Or I suppose you could try the Stinging Jinx again. Let's see here.
Well,
Charming. Looks like you'll have a memento of this particular magical moment. This page will teach you the incantation and gesture for the Reductor Curse.
You need to learn the magic words for the spell. Point at the glowing words with your wand, then hold the T button.
Reducto! The incantation Reducto will give you the power to blast solid objects out of your path. Got that? Now you speak the incantation for this spell.
Reducto.
3, 2, 1,
Reduction.
go.
Reduction.
Wonderful! You've learned the incantation, so the spell's gesture is next. Pull up the gesture diagram to learn to cast the spell. The Reductor Curse requires 2 sharp slashes downwards, to the right, then to the left.
Sideways.
All right. Now you need to draw the gesture again, this time from memory.
Excellent wand work. To perform the Reductor Curse, just flick your wand towards an object. Aha! The spellbook's taking us somewhere you can try this dangerous curse out safely. Looks like the perfect chance to practice your Reductor Curse. Start destroying those rocks.
That means you can unreduct those things.
Right, let's crack on.
Thanks, Cat.
Aha! The spellbook's taking us somewhere you can try this dangerous curse out safely. Looks like the perfect chance to practice your Reductor Curse. Start destroying those rocks. Keep at it! That's it! Oh, you've made short work of that. You've got a knack for curses. Looks like all that cursing has shaken something loose. We'll be trapped. Use your curse to blast those rocks out of the way. Nice! Well done! Nice! That's it! Well done! We'll be buried any minute! Use your Reducto Curse on the boulders! Whew, we're clear. Nicely done. Good shot. Splendid! I think your work on this spell is done. You'll need to close the book and select Chapter 5, Part 2 to move on. You're nearly there. Are you ready for the final test? Chapter 5, Part 2.
Duh. Surprised they didn't call it volley.
Ah, the stunning spell. You'll need this one if you want to hold your own in a wizard duel.
Pull up the description text to begin. Pull up the glowing spell description text to begin. The stunning spell is invaluable in dueling, knocking out anyone it strikes. The spell is commonly used by dragon handlers and other magizoologists to handle dangerous creatures, and by the Aurors, dark wizard hunters for the Ministry of Magic. More stunning stuff from Miranda Goshawk, eh? Moving on. Interesting thing to collect? You're ready to learn the gesture for this spell. We'll learn the incantation first. Pull up the illustration on the page. You need to learn the magic words for the spell. Point at the glowing words with your wand, then pull the T button. Stupefy. The incantation Stupefy gives you the power to stun your opponent. Use it responsibly. The trick is to say it loudly and clearly, and before your opponent. 3, 2, 1.
Stupefy!
Very nice. Let's learn the stunning spell's gesture. Pull it up from the page. A full moon tonight, eh? That doesn't bode well. Stupefy. The incantation Stupefy gives you the power to stun your opponent. Let's learn the stunning spell's gesture. Pull it up from the page. The stunning spell is a sharp slash directly downwards with the wand. That's it, lovely bit of wand work. Now, after you've cast the spell, you just flick your wand to send out a stunner.
All that different from expelling armors and that other stunning spell. There we go. Look at the
Pixies. They'll cause havoc in here.
Stupefy! Stupefy! Stupefy!
I think I know just the spell for these cheeky little things. Don't you? If they're flying too fast, wait until they slow down and then get them. Shame, try again.
Ow!
Those pixies might just be conjured. Got him. One down. Good shot. That's the second one. And that's the last of those cheeky pixies. Well done indeed. A most useful spell, I'm sure you'll agree. Now I think you're ready for something truly advanced. The Patronus Charm. This spell provides a defense against the darkest of magic. It's time to find out what you're made of. Pull up the glowing words with your wand to hear more. There we go. This ancient and mysterious charm conjures a magical guardian, a projection of all your most positive feelings. The Patronus Charm is difficult, and many witches and wizards are unable to produce a full corporeal Patronus. A guardian which generally takes the shape of the animal with whom they share the deepest affinity. There we have it. Oh, a tale about the Patronus Charm. This story could save your life. Pull it up, or turn the page if you can't wait to cast it. We're in for a treat. A tale about this most potent of You may suspect, but you will never truly know what form your Patronus will take until you succeed in conjuring it. The strange power of the Patronus and its peculiar qualities are well illustrated by the ancient story of a shy, poor orphan boy called Ilias, whose Patronus went down in wizarding history. Ilias lived long ago in a mountain village, which was surrounded by a dense forest in which a dark wizard called Raxidian lived. In a black castle, guarded by Dementors. These evil, faceless, hooded creatures which cast fear and despondency all around them. Suck the very souls from humans whom they succeed in weakening. For many years, Raxidian left the villagers, who were fellow witches and wizards, in peace. And they avoided the part of the forest where his castle was situated, knowing that Dementors roamed the forest. They took care to teach every new generation the... what charm? That definitely wasn't right. The Patronus charm, of course, the only spell that worked against these evil creatures.
So vicious.
Many were unable to master the difficult spell. But there had always been just enough Patronuses in the village to stand guard against the Dementors, in case Raxidian ordered an attack. When Ilias turned 17, the village elders taught him and his fellow young wizards the spell. Ilias, who was shy and tongue-tied, succeeded in producing a Patronus. But to his shame, it took the form of a... Oh, now we're getting to it. No, that doesn't seem right. To his shame, it took the form of a mouse.
Hey, just a side review.
Everyone roared with laughter because they had never seen such a small, weak Patronus. And the elders advised the boy never to use the spell again.
Terrible advice.
Shortly afterwards, a beautiful young village girl called Eliana, whom Ilias had always been too shy to talk to, caught the eye of Raxidian as she collected berries in the forest. Raxidian had decided that she would make him an excellent wife. Raxidian sent a demand to Eliana's parents, who refused to let her marry him. Raxidian then threatened the whole village, saying that he would lay siege to it and allow his Dementors to destroy all of them unless they sent Eliana to him. The village elders met and agreed to resist. Eliana was sent to hide in the tiny shack where Ilias lived alone, and he was told to stay there and keep her company. Because his Patronus was too weak and feeble to help.
I don't know how to cast it.
Wave upon wave of Dementors now attacked the village. At first, the villagers' lines of Patronuses, bears and wolves and wild boar, held firm. But gradually, the sheer numbers of Dementors began to overwhelm them. Slowly, the Patronuses grew weak and faint. And the witches and wizards casting them either collapsed where they stood or ran for their lives. Do something, Eliana implored Ilias. So he cast his Patronus, and the mouse shone like a star as it darted nimbly through the fleeing crowds. Its light was so powerful that, in spite of its tiny size, the Dementors were halted. Furious that something so small should thwart him, Raxidian now joined the ranks of the Dementors himself. Forgetting that only the pure of heart can produce a Patronus, he tried to cast a guardian that would shield him from Ilias's mouse. Only now was it discovered, for the first time,
What happens when an unworthy but skillful wizard attempts the Patronus charm?
Patronus.
Something gushed from the end of Raxidian's wand. They crawled all over him, hiding him from sight. Oh.
That doesn't sound right. Perhaps try the other tab.
Oh, yes. Maggots gushed from the end of Raxidian's wand. They crawled all over him, hiding him from sight.
He was eaten alive.
And before the villagers' horrified eyes, he was devoured.
Death by maggots.
Elias was acclaimed as a hero, married Eliana, and lived
I
happily
saved you
ever
before
after.
I get to claim you as my prize.
And from that time on, there was no more highly prized or admired Patronus in that village than the deft and nimble mouse. A classic tale with an important message. Are you ready to find out what your Patronus is?
Let's see how this is gonna work.
There, you're nearly You need to fix this part of the spellbook. Remember your mending charm. The gesture's like a square. This page is in a terrible state. Still, nothing a mending charm won't fix. That's it. Now just flick your wand down at the book. Good.
We need to learn the incantation first, even if you think you know it already. Pull up the incantation text.
Dementors. Even a picture of those creatures gives me the shivers. Expecto Patronum. Expecto Patronum. A powerful incantation, but meaningless without great positive feeling behind it. Ready? Try the incantation for this spell in 3, 2, 1,
Expecto
go.
Patronum!
Well done. Now you've learnt the spell's incantation, it's time to learn its gesture.
A circle.
All right, you can do it. Pull up the gesture symbol from the page. Dementors. Even a picture of those creatures gives me the shivers. All right, you can do it. Pull up the gesture symbol from the page. The Patronus charm will take focus and determination to master. Now, this isn't like other spells. You need to hold the move button, then keep moving your wand in a circle to build up power. Think of the happiest memory you can and hold it in your mind as you start casting the spell. All right, once more. Start moving your wand in a circle. Focus on that memory now. You're ready. Let go of the move button. That's it. Brilliant. Extraordinary. To cast it on your first try. This is what's called an incorporeal Patronus. With practice, you should soon be able to summon a full animal Patronus. One last extra bit of information from Miranda. When performed correctly, the Patronus charm gives the caster protection beyond any shield charm and enables them to resist even the terrible power of creatures like Dementors. It is clear from ancient woodcuts and scrolls that the Patronus charm has been in existence since earliest times. Many attempts have been made over the centuries to find an easier way to produce a Patronus, or some similar shield against dark magic, but none have been successful. Right, let's crack on. Well done, you're building quite a collection of souvenirs. One last extra bit of information from Miranda. Use your wand to pull it up, or if you can't wait, then just turn. When performed,
The fuck is a feature?
turn the page to practice the Patronus charm. Time to see whether you might be able to conjure a full Patronus. Right, pull up the picture. Let's see if you can conjure up a full Patronus.
Sheep.
To conjure a full corporeal Patronus, focus your mind as hard as you can on a single happy memory. Choose a memory and hold it in your mind as you cast the spell.
Oh, looks like we're back in the classroom again. Wand at the ready now. Start casting the Patronus charm. Let's give it a real go. You can do it. Think of the happiest thing you can and move your wand. Just let go of the button.
How fitting.
You got it. I could just see it for a second. Let's try again. Start tracing the circle. Next time it'll be more powerful. That's it. I could see it clearly for just a moment. Once more now. Start the circle, and let's see how long you can make your Patronus last. Magnificent! Your Patronus is an agile cat. And there it goes. Remarkable. Impressive stuff. But summoning your Patronus in the face of danger, that's the real trick. You've done yourself proud. You're ready to tackle the final chapter test. Turn the page. The chapter test. Are you ready? Of course you are. But be careful. Pull up the picture on the page. Let's find out what we'll be facing. This final challenge will test all the magical skills you have learned in this chapter and will take the measure of your nerve. You will face considerable danger, but succeed, and you will win a new conundrum, which hints at the last of the key qualities of great wizards. You will then be able to unlock a final poem with the solution to all the conundrums. Gather your courage, trust your instincts, and keep your wand at the ready.
No. Let's see what horrible scenario.
Heavens! A Dementor! These are foul and hollow beings that feed on positive emotions. Oh, of course, Miranda must have known what she was doing, but still, this seems quite a drastic way to test your skills. Of course, it's just something your books conjured up. Nothing to be scared of. No good. Remember, press triangle if you need a clue. Try again. Press triangle if you want a hint. Oh, no good. Press triangle if you need a hint. Good lord. A wizarding village. That Dementor could wreak havoc here. Whew, it's gone for now. What will we be facing next? Merlin's beard. Werewolves. Werewolves don't need weapons, so they can't be disarmed. Try another spell. Oh, that wasn't it. Press triangle if you need a clue. Oh, that wasn't it. Press triangle if you need a clue. Excellent. Now stun the rest of them. Another one stunned. Great wand work. Got him. Another one stunned. Great wand work. Got him. Oh, that was the last of them.
Disappointing looking werewolves. Looks like just regular ones.
Where's the book taking you now? Ah, crafty. Those werewolves think they're safe while they're hiding. Ha! You've no choice. Destroy that stuff they're hiding behind. I bet those werewolves will think twice about attacking if you destroy their cover. Uh-huh. Nicely done. Look at him scarf her. Now, get the rest. Boom! He's had enough, that's for sure. Excellent spell work. That's the last of them driven off.
Supposed to be saving the village.
No time to rest, I'm afraid. Oh, that giant venomous tentaculus captured some of the townsfolk. Oh, it looks eager to add you to its collection. All right, you have to be brave now. Free that villager. Their need is greater than yours. Blowing it up might hurt the villager. You need a spell to make creatures drop what they're holding. Try again. Press triangle if you want a hint. Transformed the Tentacula! Well done! How many villagers does this plant have in its clutches? Another nice bit of wand work. Here's another villager to rescue. Keep at it. Another captured villager. Another nice bit of wand work. You're doing great. Here's another villager to save. Whew, that was the last one. Excellent spell work. What's this? The Dementor has returned, and it's brought friends. There are so many of them. Courage now. No good. Remember, press triangle if you need a clue. Oh, that wasn't it. Press triangle if you need a clue. Looks like even the Tentacula doesn't want to be around the Dementors. You have to stop them, drive them back. You know what to do. That's it. Now keep circling your wand and hold on to that happy memory in your head. Focus on that happy memory. Keep circling your wand. Oh, you've done it. Your Patronus will protect you. I can't believe it. Look at that Patronus. Oh, you should be so proud of yourself. And you've saved the village. And might I say, what a magnificent Patronus.
Village full of blizzards and no one knows how to protect themselves.
And there it goes.
And so the day was saved.
Amazing. You displayed nerves of steel, bested some of the wizarding world's most fearsome creatures, and saved a village from destruction. Time to look at this chapter's conundrum. I have a feeling I know what wizardly virtue Miranda is going to tell us about.
Okay.
I never saw a wizard quite the same as Quintus Harcourt Ballyfumble Stranger, as famous for his most unusual name, as for the speed with which he fled from danger. A bang, a flash, a grunt, each sudden noise would make him vanish, hide, or run at speed. He soon became a joke among the boys, for which among us likes a feeble weed? There's nothing wrong with nerves when trouble starts, Quin's father told him kindly. We all know the quaking of our simple human hearts, the feeling that our legs have turned to dough. Yet feelings such as these, though very normal, can still be overcome, Quinn. Don't lose hope. But Quintus said, his manner cold and formal, I wish you wouldn't treat me like a dope. Why should I stand and fight when safety calls? What's more important than to save my neck? If others wish to duel, I think them fools. I have no wish to end a broken wreck. So all the use his wand got, year on year, was shielding Quintus of the silly name, until one day the wand came over queer and wouldn't work. I think it died of shame. The moral's clear. What quality is worth more than timidity? And without what are wizards lame? Their spell work poor, their magic tame.
Just get another wand. It's kind of... The whole thing with the wands being alive is kind of stupid. It's like, oh no, I was... Okay. I died in
Here's your
embarrassment,
certificate
I was
recording your
used
progress.
inappropriately, but-
Pull it up from the book to have a look.
I mean, so if that was the case, then why do wands even allow evil things to happen? If
You've
if
really
a wand
mastered
can
those
die
spells.
from, like,
15 house points.
embarrassment, apparently, because they're embarrassed that this kid had like no fucking balls, and all he wanted to do was play defensively. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna die for embarrassment. And yet, like, no nothing when it comes to, you know, Voldemort's wand. The wand's not like, oh, you're killing people and doing bad stuff. Well, peace out.
Right, let's crack on. Select the Conundrum chapter to read the final poem you've
Let's
unlocked.
see what kind of bullshit this is.
This chapter holds all the Conundrum poems you've unlocked. And here's the first poem you won. Once you've completely finished the book, come back here to find a final poem with
5, 6. After.
You've completed your last test, so that means you've unlocked Miranda's final poem. Remember all the foolish witches and wizards we've heard about? Time to find out if you've got the...
So, did you guess, my faithful friend? Who's worked so hard from start to end? What would have saved the dreadful 5 whose stories you have heard described? Yes, practice every single day will pave the gifted wizard's way to greater skill. But Izzy Rose was lazy, as her failure shows. Now, wit and concentration are essential if you would go far. Naught but distraction rots your brain, as seen by Douglas in The Drain. No greatness comes without hard work, which Angus didn't like, the Burke. And patience too, which will not quit, as Angus did, the silly git. When faced with monsters, fanged or furred, no, cunning's not a dirty word. If you'd avoid poor Morgan's end, then shrewdness is your truest friend. Above all, bravery in danger, sorely lacked by Quintus Stranger, will lift you high in our esteem.
So the point of that story seems like,
We
I
all
don't want
want
to get into
daring
duels. That's
on our
stupid.
team.
I'd rather play it safe. What the fuck is wrong
Each
with
habit,
that?
trait, and quality,
No, I'm gonna fling myself unnecessarily.
which I've described so pithily,
Oh, that duel.
is
guy
quite
wants to duel.
essential if you wish
Duel everybody. Go
to be the
Yu-Gi-Oh
best
on
you
everyone.
can. Now swish and flick and wave. Pronounce the spell and make your magic work so well that onlookers will rub their eyes. Our admiration is your prize.
What is this?
So, did you guess, my faithful friend, who's worked so hard from start to end?
That's the actual
What would have
animation.
saved the dreadful 5 whose stories you have heard described? Yes, practice every single day will pave the gifted wizard's way to greater skill.
There! You've come on so much. There's greatness in your future, I've no doubt. Keep practicing your charms. Try not to flourish your wand quite so much. And come back to visit. Oh,
Don't
and I
flourish
almost
your wand so
forgot.
much.
Just close your book for me one last time, will you?
Wasn't
There! Your book of spells is complete.
Wasn't
But
that
if
the
you ask
point
me,
of the
this is just the
second
start
or
of
the
your
last
magical
story? He didn't
education.
flourish his wand
Come
too
back
much.
and sharpen your wand skills
Like,
anytime you
flourish it
like.
too much, but then not
I'll
enough.
be here.
So where the hell do I see my collectibles? So what are these?
On this page, you can inspect your wand, learn about your house, and find out a bit about our author. Turn the pages of this chapter to have a look at all the
Really? That's it? Okay.
What? Moving on. We can finish that later.
That was the Book of Spells. That's okay. I mean, it's for children. No, excuse me. Scarf, like, it's a neat gimmick and all, but...
Where's the book?
Yeah.
Put it where I can see it.
It's
There
a
we
neat
are.
Gimmick. I mean, that looks pretty good, especially for, what, 2012? But it just kind of dragged in a couple places. I've played some games with the Move. I remember Sorcery. That was a decent enough game, but it... I don't know, it was a little lackluster in terms of its movement. Something I kind of want to try experimenting with at some point is VR. The only thing I'm actually missing for the PlayStation 4 VR is actually just the headset. I have a camera, I have 2 motion controllers, so all I need is just the actual headset. But, I don't know. I'm kind of curious as to try the other Wonderbook games. There's a book of potions, which honestly I probably wouldn't pick up because I found this Harry Potter game kind of boring. But there is one with like a little mystery thing that I've always thought looked interesting, and there's another one with dinosaurs. So, I mean, if all else, I'll be playing with AR dinosaurs. But, well, that completes Book of Spells. So thank you for anybody who stopped by and watched me play this silly game. Well, I'm gonna call it a day. Have a good one, everyone.